All right. One more? I guess. Maybe. One more, I guess. Fuck. Why do you guys do this to me? Why? I thought you guys liked me. All right. Can we somehow, some way, accomplish something this season? That is the question. Shout out to Ocean Gate Submarine, because Ocean Gate Submersible was taken. We're not going to sign Jackson Arnott. As much as I'd love to be like, it's the son of Jason. Like, he's bad. So we're not going to sign Jackson Arnott. We're not going to sign anybody if I can help it. How many defensemen do we have? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, a 2, 3. So we need 3 more. Coincidentally, we have 3 RFAs. So there's that for the defenders. For the forwards, Richard certainly has to stay. Abdelkader can stay. Pojar. Joffrey Pojar, 7th rounder in 2031. Absolute trash bag. He is gone. And then there is Santiago Doig. 6th rounder in 2031. Also an absolute bin. Left wing. Para needs an actual contract. DeBoer needs a contract. We'll keep Miura. We'll keep Matsumoto. I don't know about the rest. I don't know about the rest. The last, I don't even know anymore. I can't even speak English anymore. Jordan Gavin gets the offer. Stevenson gets qualified. We'll sign Piero Zabadol because he can go straight to the AHL. How many forwards do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. AHL is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need like 2 more, maybe 3 more. You can base it off of rating. I mean, it's mostly the RFAs. It's actually all RFAs from what I can tell. So who's it going to be? Keep Purrington because he might get better. We'll keep Sharma, again, because he's younger. We're going to cut Joe Pittis, who was a 6th round pick, 2026. Again, he's good offensively, but it's not like he's ever going to break out. He can't skate worth a damn. Or you know what? Screw it. Let's just keep all of them because, hey, we're going to need people under contract, right? Yeah! Because we have playoff games to get to. All right. Is there anybody who rejected? Doesn't look like it. All right. Looks like we're fine. Okay. Well. Bunch of dudes accepting the qualifying offer as per usual. We just lost a lot of our staff between the coaches and the scouts. Not as if it matters, because having great coaches and great scouts has done fuck all for us. Jack, give me something to talk about while we take 6 million bajillion fargan years just to sign someone to a max offer. Holy balls, EA. Balls to you. Fucking balls to you. We made the playoffs once. The AHL team has made the playoffs twice. How important are scout grades? LOL. I mean, you can train someone up in a different region, so to me, not overly important. I don't even remember what the hell I sent him a deal for. Let's go AHL associate. Zadina scoring 60 goals in Boston. Boston, Czech Republic. Why won't my uncle call me by my first name instead of just champ or fella? Because he doesn't love you, but he wants to sound like he does. Oh, it's about Twitter imploding, like a certain submersible. I don't think it'll fully implode. I don't. There's enough crazy right-wingers out there to keep it alive. Madman, it's just players with character issues, draft to glory style. Who's better looking, Richard Head or Deke? I mean, Rich knows the answer is Deke. Come on now. Oh, God. Gotta go with the max offer, because if we don't, we'll be like, well, shit, what if we did? There's something I'd like different about scouting, for it to actually be fun to do manually. But it's not. It's very, very tedious to do manually. I'd like it to actually be a little bit more engaging. I feel like MLB does it well. I feel like most of the sports games do it well compared to this game. My newest roster had Bedard on the Hawks. It does not. I have a video out on the channel explaining why that is the case. Hardest challenge, UDFA style new action. I don't think we won in the UDFA challenge, man. UDFA challenge, we were successful in Madden because that's actually possible. But I don't think hockey, it was ever successful. I'd love to be misremembering, but a UDFA challenge in this game is near impossible. If not outright impossible. Alright, let's see what happens. See what we get for staff members, see if we get another offer sheet. Oh, good, we have a toxic environment. Boy, don't we? You turn down that much money for a toxic environment, you fucking prude. Ridiculous. There you go, fellas. There's your motivation for the season. Think about all the coaches who didn't want to come here because you all suck. Henrik, the UDFA challenge is undrafted free agents. So basically in Madden, every year we'd always trade away our draft picks. And then immediately after the drafts, you look at, or really in training camp, you look at the free agent list and find all the new guys that are there, and you take what you can get. We do it every year in Madden. It's one of my favorite franchise modes to do. If I could watch, listen to a masterclass from anyone in the world, who would it be? Henrik, for my money, it's impossible in NHL. Masterclass from anyone in the world. It would have to be something practical. Because you couldn't... It wouldn't be like, oh, I'd want to hear from, like, the most successful streamer in the world, because... Just because you're successful doesn't mean you did everything right. Streaming is luck, so that would make sense. Give me Gary Thorne, just because I want to talk to Gary Thorne forever and ever. So let me talk to Gary Thorne. All right, Gaspard, let's try this again, you fuck. Are we at the start of the season already? We're not. Oh, now you'll accept, because, yeah, no one else wanted to hire you, you dumb bitch. Maximilian Trigg, it's only 3 picks. We can't afford to lose a guy like that. We're going to match the offer. So, Max, there you go. There's your big boy deal. Congratulations. Congratulations. Trump for how he has no morals in his ability to command a crowd. I don't think you would need to take a master class to know how to understand the ease at which you can control and manipulate uneducated people. or just outright dickheads. You know, that's been a theme in human history for centuries. So, all right, if we can get a Fragapani, I'd pick Neil deGrasse Tyson. Would you? Because he'd spend every second of the entire class telling you, making sure that you knew he was the smartest person in the room. I'd try to pick someone not so pompous. Thoughts on the Reds' rookie De La Cruz? It's like, he's the fucking man. Those are my thoughts. He's the goddamn man. All right, let's try to figure out the coaching staff. For some reason, people wanted another season of this tonight, and I can't hazard a guess as to why. I really can't. RFAs, Gabriel Daig. Gonna bring you back. Jordan Gavin, Stevenson, and Richard. What fucking line combinations am I gonna run this year? I think of the Bruins heading into the season. It's not looking very pretty if Bergeron and Krejci aren't back. So, you know, it's tough to have the same confidence in them from last season as it would be running Coyle, Zaka, and Morgan Geekie as your top centers. We're going to do a rules-heavy franchise. I've been tempted to, yeah. If not for the end of 23, we'll definitely do one for 24. Imagine the F1 lobbies. Monk, imagine if people told me they had the game and were willing to play. Imagine. I don't know everyone that has a copy of the game that can play. Imagine that. All right. Rem Pitlick. The GOAT. REM himself. All right. Coaching staff. Now we got that guy. We have two great goalie coaches, but I got to be honest, McNeely, it doesn't really feel like it's been working. So I'm going to drop you. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. Roster moves. Let's actually wait for the cap whale. End of town travel before I buy. Fair enough. That cap whale signed with us already? There we go, Rem. All right. Our roster for this season. Chubarov and Daig again in goal. Enqvist will actually stay. Actually, he's so fucking bad. No, he won't. Garcia's not going to get any better. We'll probably run Lindstrom and Janes as the AHL goalies this year. It is Trigg, Morin, Hamonic, Winkler, McNabb, Toivonen. We could run Verdino instead. Or we start running people based off of potential, but at the same time, We'll just run with those options. Forward-wise, it is 10, 11, 12 with Lieb, 13 Alexandrov, Mazzaros. You know what? Let's try something different in terms of who gets to play. Verdino, what are you good at? The answer's not much. Serviceable defensively, you're a pretty mid skater. Is there anybody better than you? Tamarnis, very good at moving the puck. Decent skater. Can't really play defense worth a shit. But at least he specializes in something. Amir McNabb. Fairly well-rounded. Nothing too crazy. Is there anybody better than McNabb? There's Timo Toivonen. You are not better than McNabb. What about Pete Strombopoulos? Also very good at moving the puck. Very good skater. You know what, Strombo? You might make it in. What about Winkler? Winkler's very mid. Not a great skater. Plays decent defense and is physical. Maybe we'll leave you in for that reason. Hamonic fills the same role. I think we're going to go with Strabo over Winkler.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
I think we are. Blue Knight, thank you for the follow. Welcome to my hell. Pedro Barker again, pretty just well-rounded. Delzato, same thing. All right, so yeah, we're going to go with guys who are actually a little bit interesting and maybe specialized in a few things. We got to try something different, after all. So again, for forwards, it is 10, 11, and 12, 13. So we'll send out Matsumoto for the moment. Shard needs that call up based off of overall. Gavin and Stevenson need the call up. All right, so it's 75 overall, so it's 10, 11, 12, 13 with Miura. Let's just do this for the moment. So, Abdicator, what are you good at? You're just very well-rounded. Like, very well-rounded. I respect that. Cole Brown, very well-rounded. Doesn't really specialize in anything, but very well-rounded. Dorian Para, doesn't really specialize in anything, very well-rounded. Unfortunately, cannot skate worth a shit. Richard, very well-rounded. Very, very well-rounded. And Stevenson. I saw Para with that defensive awareness, and I was tempted last season to move him to defense for that reason. But again, he can't skate. And he'd do less damage not being able to skate it forward than he would being on defense. You know? Honestly, none of these guys inherently deserve to be taken out of this lineup. So then the question is, who is this final forward going to be? We have Reese DeBoer, who has been on this NHL team for the last couple of seasons. He is quite well-rounded, as are other players on the team. There's Leonardo Miura. Also, again, fairly well-rounded. I mean, they kind of even out, really. There's Reese Matsumoto. Physical as shit. Can kind of pass the puck, but can't really skate. Matsumoto gets into the lineup if we want a hitter, a checker. There's Rylan Lieb. Again, same thing, fairly well-rounded. A little bit younger than DeBoer and Miura. There's Alexei Alexandrov, our first-round pick from last year. He has an awesome shot. Interesting. And if we get him on an NHL team, maybe he can develop fast. Marek Mazaros. Fairly well-rounded. We got a lot of well-rounded players. A lot. Carl Peterson is... He can hit. That's it. He can hit. That's all he's got going for him. Ola Bang can pass. Again, player type should be based off of what the attributes say someone should be. Him being a two-way is fucking stupid. He should be a playmaker, and I hate it. Thanks for coming to my fucking TED Talk. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Jacques Gervais. Not ready for prime time yet. 72s are probably a bit too low. Mauricio Purinton has a pretty good shot. Not quite Alexandrov. Sharma, not in consideration. Joe Pittis has pretty good passing, as does Ola Bang. Bobby Schmalz, not ready. Vic Drake, decent shot, not enough to consider for NHL level. Schroeder's not ready yet. Rem Pitlick obviously won't play. Okay. So, now we know what's in the minors for what we might need. We have one spot on this team in terms of forwards. One. So in terms of who we have Advocator, who is well-rounded. This is Mumphy. This is the continuation. Advocator, well-rounded. Cole Brown, well-rounded. I feel like that's going to be most people at this point. Dorian Para, again, fairly well-rounded. He can't shoot or skate, but he's also in that category. Marcel Richard, again, in that category. Very well-rounded player. Stevenson, in that category. Fucking hell. Denver Barkey. Maybe Denver Barkey is the problem. Maybe he's just too big of a waste on the line. Has good face-offs and speed. Not much else. Matvey Michkov. Again, same thing. So many of our players are of a similar mold. Braden Yeager. Of a similar mold. Mango is well-rounded, but ideally should be the lights-out shooter, but we know he's not. That's just not him. Again, I guarantee his hidden pass shot bias is terrible in terms of shooting the puck. Jordan Gavin, well-rounded, but also a pure playmaker. And then Ragnarsson, you know, two-way type of deal. So really the only guy that we're looking at to maybe take out is Denver Barkey. Just because he's fast and he can win faceoffs, and that's it. So it raises the question, if so many other players on this team are well-rounded, do we go with someone who's more of a lights-out shooter, a lights-out passer? Do we bring someone else in who's more well-rounded? Or do we bring in a guy who can just fucking hit people? You know, we could have a fourth line of Para, Matsumoto, and Peterson, and they could just run around and fucking hit people. The problem with that is, of course, the game doesn't really factor in like how effective that could be. Have I heard Fall Out Boy's cover if we didn't start the fire? I have. It's okay. I don't think you can rate it any higher than okay when you rhyme George Floyd with Metroid. So many of our fucking players are just well-rounded. And Ola Bang has tremendous playmaking. We have to make a decision there. Let's just say, shits and giggles, Denver Barkey was out. And off of this team. As much as it sucks. James Piero Zabital and Pitlick represent two players who could fill in on this team. And a lot of guys who are well-rounded. As we know. Essentially, all of these guys are expected to be in the top 6. So that leaves one spot on the second or first line. It wouldn't be Advocator. That leaves room for a skill player, and it leaves room for someone in the more well-rounded or physical category. Unless we wanted to bump Braden Yeager out. So if Denver Barkey's out, we have Mango as a well-rounded sniper, but ideally he is a sniper. Jordan Gavin, well-rounded, but ideally you are a playmaker. Ideally. Michkov, again, ideally is a sniper. Dorian Perez, obviously not in this conversation. This is where we get to have an issue. Ragnarsson as well is ideally a sniper. And then Braden Yeager is really more of a two-way. Abdelkader is more of a two-way. Stevenson, same thing. Marcel Richard, more of a playmaker, and that's how we're going to view him.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Ethan, thank you for the follow, my man. I hope you've been well. I hope you have been well. Okay. So in theory, let's just say those currently on the left wing are the snipers of this team, and we're going to keep them separate. How's it going? Aside from this game driving me goddamn crazy, I'm doing great. No complaints. So we have Gavin, we have Richard, we need a playmaker. Which is either Ola Bang or Pittis. As stupid as that is, it's either Ola Bang or Joe Pittis. 88 passing, 85 offensive awareness, 90. It's got to be Ola Bang. So Ola Bang, of all people, is going to be called up from one of these spots as we are so stupidly desperate to find a combination that frickin' works. We can't just sit here and keep throwing the same thing at the wall and hoping it finally works. We're not the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're smarter than that. Ola Bang. We have our snipers. We have our playmakers. The two jerseys right behind you. I have a couple. The one's right behind me, though. Let's do webcam only. We got a Pominville and a McDonough and a Maine Mariners shirt. Yeah, cool. There we go. I didn't even know which ones were behind me. And then there's about 50 jerseys still on the rack to my left. Okay, focus. Focus. Forward, focus. So it leaves, if we want each line to have a skilled option and a well-rounded option, and then the fourth line can just be the grit, right? So Para has to be on the grit line. I mean, he's literally an enforcer. Brown, 85s. So I think we could technically drop Abdelkader. And then a lot of people were fans of Alexandrov, and I get why, but I do worry about having multiple kind of snipers on the same line as we try to get these guys to actually do something. I'm going to set up with the Bruins blanket. I do. That was when I was in a corner of a room, which I am not anymore. Okay. We need someone who's more well-rounded. So it is either someone who's either more well-rounded or someone who's a heavy hitter. So again, there's Reese Matsumoto. He can't do much aside from hit the hell out of people. There's Matsumoto or Peterson. And they are both about the same in terms of just running around and hitting people. Or it's one of those two ways. Are we overthinking this? Probably. But it's what we have to do. I want Abdelkader to have a chance. on Abdicator to have a chance to start the season. So, Mr. Piero Zabadal, as planned, will go down. And we are going to go with the heavy hitter in Matsumoto. Just pure desperation at this stage, trying something different. Pure desperation. But it's what we're going for. So we will have a heavy hitting fourth line. And we're going to put Ola Bang with Matvei Michkov to see if he can do anything. Again, no guarantees this works at all. But it's worth a shot. Abdicator's not a great center, but do what we got to do. Ragnarsson will center Richard and Stevenson. Then we got two guys who have 93s for face-offs, but we'll go Mangos, Gavin, and Jaeger. Which we have done before, mind you, with mixed results. Defensively. So again, Tamarnis, great passing. McNabb, well-rounded. Strombo, great passing. Hamonic, well-rounded. Morin's okay passing. All right, so we'll have the more defensive options on the left and the skill on the right. Strombo's a medium 6. Tamarnis has a chance to improve where Strombo really doesn't. McNabb's not going to get much better. It's going to be our defense for this year. And then goalies will still be Dag and Shubarov. So we will see if this works. And then obviously we have the short list already of, okay, well, that didn't work with these specific players. Let's try these guys instead. So we have options, but we're just so desperate for something else to work. We're giving up on Denver Barkey, which doesn't feel great. But yeah, he developed very awkwardly where it's just all speed. Defensively, just leave it as it is. I don't even care. Don't even care. Or do I? I mean, technically we have Barker. We'll just go off of potential again. Why not? Medium 6, that's 24. What else do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? And then the worst part is we still have to sim the damn season. Isn't that the worst? Let's just go with that. It's fine. Forwards, is there anybody in this lineup who's not supposed to be? No. Is there anybody that's scratched that we don't want scratched? Schroeder and Schmalz. What do we got? What do we got? Peterson, we were going to play you, but whatever. Let's get Bobby Schmalz in there. Great name. Joe Pittis. Let's get you out of there for Schroeder. And we'll get Mr. Piero Zabadal in there. So really quickly, optimize based off of listed potentials. We have another medium 6. We did, Jacques Gervais. So at least the top line are all forwards with medium top 6 potential. I mean, those are the guys that you're looking at to be like, cool, can you be half decent? Please, God, we need you to be. Boy, don't we need you to be. Essentially, everyone else is a medium 9. Yeah. So low 6, low 6. We'll go with Denver Barkey. Go off of overall, so we'll drop Bobby Schmalz down. Slide everybody over based on face-offs. Not even worried about natural playing position. Nighthawk, what's up? I'm doing well. This game is trying to ruin my life, though. And succeeding. Chat's not innocent of this either. All right. If this doesn't work, right? Like, if this doesn't work, what the hell will? Like, we're trying to voodoo the hell out of this. Something has to work. For the love of God. Something has to work. I'm going to demote McNeely. We'll make Fragapani the NHL goalie coach because McNeely hasn't been doing shit. So Hillis, 57 on the scheme fit. What about Hill? 72. 72. Sauve, 60. Spalling, 72. So it's Hill or Spalling. If I were to come down to the direct comparison of those two, Hill wins. Right now it is still Hill. Lynn isn't the guy. Congrats to Hill. You're the coach. You are the guy. All right. Is there a good guy we can sign here? He's got the best teaching and influence. It's this guy. Jose Westgarth, how would you like to be an associate coach with the most frustrating team in the history of the world? Oh, God. All right, if he takes that, cool. If he doesn't, whatever, because we don't necessarily need it. Really quickly, scouts as well. I need this to be the year that we flirt with making the playoffs. Please. Please. We need this so badly. It's terrible how badly we need this. Especially, too, like, we're so... I don't want to say late into this, but essentially late into this. In that all of our star players, it's getting to be too late to let them go. In terms of offer sheets and such. That's a problem. That's a pretty big problem. Permission to flirt. Rich, you always have permission. You don't even have to ask, baby. All right. Like, we don't want to be stuck with a core that's not working and we're afraid to reset. Sound familiar? 2 players in Austria. We better know who both of them are. So one look then. This is the team. +5 on the top line. No other pluses, but that's okay. The defense looks a lot better chemistry-wise. AHL-wise is a disaster in terms of chemistry. But it is what it is. Something about a strong, independent man streaming on a Saturday night. What a guy. What a guy. All right. I guess we'll sim this tonight, maybe. Do I want to? No.